Hey, how's it going? This is Daniel with Road of Happy Destiny, and I'm making a quick video here to talk about the condition of people in the world today. Because I grew up being taught that I could be anything I want to be if I put my mind to it, that I could achieve anything if I do that, that people are inherently good, and they are, but most people that are generally speaking, they're good-natured, they're good faith actors. They don't have an intention against you or for you. They don't want anything necessarily from you. They're just people doing life just like you, and they don't, whatever. You know, when you go into an interaction with somebody, I have to do it now with some hesitation and some vigilance now, because people in the world, generally speaking, though started out good and are good, still have that evil nature and stuff. But in these last days, people are not who I thought they were, on average. I go into every interaction with people with faith and trust and respect, a little bit of love, and just not trying to get anything from them, not trying to see how I can work them over, not trying to find out what I can glean from that situation. I'm just interested in who that person is and what they're about, what they're passionate about, what they're into. You know, maybe I can make a new friend, maybe, whatever the reason for that interaction at all. That's just where I come from. That's how maybe it's just how I was raised, maybe that's just my heart, my character, I don't know. I just don't come to it with any malice. It's just not there. I don't understand why so many people don't even speak a word to you or give you the time of the day unless you got something for them. Man, it took me 30-some years to realize and just accept that that's how the world is and that's how most people are. That's crazy. It sucks. But I just wouldn't come off it. I wanted to hold on to the belief that everybody's inherently good and God created us good and He saw that we were good and He never let go of that. He never did, and I didn't want to. But that's just, it's still true nonetheless, but the reality is, you gotta be careful now. People are out there not to get you, but they're trying to get something from you. A lot of the time, most of the time. Just in the last year and a half, 2 years, 10 years, but especially in the last couple of years, I've been run down and beaten into the dirt by helping the people that ask me for it. Or if I have some resource or some wisdom or knowledge or, access to a resource or whatever, I try to share that with people. And if I got $5 in my pocket and you want $3 and you ask me for $3 and I tell you no, well, guess what? I'm lying. Unless I follow it up with, yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to help you. It's my $5. Right? Well, one of the things I could be doing is just asking God if I should help this person with this money, or if He has some other use for it other than, helping them out when they ask for it. I could probably consult Him and He'll probably tell me, no, you're good. Just keep that. Don't give that away. But I don't ever do that. I go for the truth in the matter first, which of course, yes, is God. But also, I don't always, or very often at all, remember to consult Him first when I'm asked for help. So what do? I help. And then I get burned for it, or chastised for it, or all this blah blah blah. You do the nicest thing with the greatest intention, you get screwed for it, and then you get left in the dust with nothing. I've had to start over so many times because of that. And it sucks, and we're prosecuted for our faith, and we're used for our kindness. We're thought of as less than because we're weak, because we're soft, because we like to help people. I'll tell you what, man, I don't love me very much. Like, I care about me, I don't like to be uncomfortable, but I don't know what it means to love me. The closest thing to loving me that I've ever really gone to is the liquor store. Pack of cigarettes, something to drink maybe. That's kind of it. My passion in life is being of service to other people, because without that I have no value in and of myself. I don't see value there unless there's somebody there to be of service to. I don't do it for a thank you, I don't do it for accolades. And I do it because it feels good, I guess, or because I'm called to. I don't know. I just do it because it's my nature. The problem is that that's so easy, and it's such a temptation and such an opportunity for so much manipulation, so much underhanded backstabbing garbage that you wouldn't think would be coming from the people that you could trust or thought you could trust. The problem is you can't trust anybody anymore. You can't just walk in and believe that everybody's trustworthy. You can't just walk in thinking everybody's got your best interest at heart, because they don't. And that's just a sad reality of it. So just be careful. Keep doing what you're called to do. Keep following Christ. Keep following His example. Aware of the fact that trials and tribulations are coming. We have a covenant. Suffering comes with it. We are the light of the world. that would rather spend it in the darkness. I like the light. I like the darkness too. I'm good either way. But I'm bringing that light no matter what, and if I have to pay for it the hard way, then I'm going to pay for it the hard way and keep doing what I'm called to do and keep being who I'm supposed to be. Because you know how they say, or additionally, you know how they say, hey, screw what they think. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. Their opinion of you is none of your business. Sure. Does Jesus feel that way? Does Jesus care what people think about him? Yeah, because their salvation depends on it. I care about what people think because I just genuinely care about what people think. And it matters to me because how people feel matters to me. You know, their circumstances matter. Why? Why does anybody else matter except selfish me? Because I've been through a lot of stuff and nobody seemed to ever give a crap when I was going through it. There's a lot of people that helped me out. But a lot of people really, genuinely cared, apart from another opportunity to see what they can get from me whenever I come up. Opinions do matter. And here's one reason why, apart from Jesus' example to actually care about those things. One reason is that the vibes and the energy and the intention that you have towards somebody, like if you were in theory to be asked the question, what do you want for their life? What do you want to happen to them? What would you want good things for them, or are they bad and you want bad things for them, or whatever the circumstance is? Whatever your opinion would be, your thought towards that person about what you want for their life, whatever that is energy and intention that goes out into the universe and goes out into the multiverse, goes out into God's kingdom, manifests here in a physical realm reality that we experience, and it affects people's lives. If I don't like you, and I'm got some aggro energy towards you, maybe nothing ever happens that I ever see, but it's gonna mess your life up a little bit. And I don't like my life being messed up. I mean, I've gone through a lot of things and I've tried to help a lot of people along the way. Even in the deepest depths of my addiction, there are certain lines and standards I didn't cross. There's some that I did, but there's most of them that I didn't, that I had at the core level. I took charges for people. I did a lot of things and whoopie whoop off for me. And never flipped on nobody, never stole from nobody, never robbed anybody. That's not who I'm about. That's not what I'm about. I don't like how my spirit feels. I don't like how I feel as a person when I'm doing those kind of things. So I try to not do those things. Is it because I'm holy and righteous and all this stuff? No, it's because I don't like how it makes me feel. Sometimes one time one person said that had some wisdom. If you want to stop feeling no damn good, you got to stop doing stuff that's no damn good. So I slowly started removing things out of my life, like addictions and things like that. And the behaviors that would come with those. And as I removed those, I stopped feeling so cruddy about myself. And I wasn't feeling cruddy about who I was as a person. I just felt cruddy in general. Depression, anxiety, all that stuff can evaporate over time with a couple of things. One is stop doing the other stuff that's not acceptable even to yourself. Ask God to soften your heart so that you recognize those things and do feel guilty, so it can kind of guide you like a compass into the next right thing. And actually, well, that's kind of about it. But anyway, that's how I'm feeling for today. I want to encourage you to be vigilant, but not to let go of your virtue. I've been really hurt as a result of my virtue. It's one of the very few things that I like about myself. Because, integrity, when nobody's looking, what are you doing? I do some embarrassing things. But for the majority of the time, regardless of who might be watching, God for one absolutely is, and to live like you're constantly in the spotlight sucks. I hate it. I like my privacy. But that's been destroyed now after the first 30 years of my life trying to do the next right thing with or without anybody looking, has been kind of not robbed from me, but transitioned, because I've come into this faith and this understanding that the perfect witness to everything I've ever done, thought about, or said, or wanted was witnessed. Well, yeah, by me. Who's going to be a better witness, or, whatever of that? All things will be brought back to remembrance. Who's the other, perfect witness to all that besides me? It would be the Jesus in me that has a consciousness just like mine in the same vessel as this physical body. He's in there too, and he doesn't talk to me much out loud. That'd be weird. But he's in there, and he's witnessing all this. So no matter what I'm doing, he's in there too, and I can't get rid of him. And so he's there, and he knows. And so everywhere I go, no matter what I do, I always feel watched, or that there's some other entity aware of what I'm doing, no matter what it is. That's because Jesus is there, and he's made me aware of that, hyper aware of it, maybe too aware sometimes. And so a lot of people think that Christians do the next right thing because they feel like God's watching them all the time. Well, he is. But don't take away the Christian's integrity and his sense of value for it by believing that the only reason that we do the next right thing is because we don't want to feel guilty because God's watching all the time. We're actually not conscious of that very often. We do the next right thing, even though we're not constantly thinking that God's watching, and he does care, and all this, and he's, of course, and he is watching. But we're not cognizant of that and aware of that all the time to do the next right. We're doing it because God's molding our character to match the one that he has already that's inside of here. And when I start believing that that's true, a similar spirit to mine that animates this physical body and connects me to God is the Holy Spirit that ultimately reinforces that connection with God and starts guiding you. Scripture starts to make sense. And you start feeling guilty about the stuff that you do. If you're doing bad stuff and it doesn't even faze you, your heart is hard. The Spirit might be in there. You might be a believer, but your heart is hardened. And when you open the door to sin, the heart gets harder towards that, and it's not as big of a deal. It opens the door for the next time, the next time, the next time, the next time. Pretty soon you're chopping heads. It doesn't even faze you. I ain't trying to be like that. So I'm asking God to soften my heart right now in Jesus' name to the things that I have in my life, or have had in my life, or might have in the future, that, I'd rather feel guilty. There's a part of me that misses the guy that used to feel guilty after, tremendously guilty after being intimate with a woman, that I'm not married to. I'm not married right now. Premarital sex, for example, I feel tremendously guilty for that, and I miss that. I miss that sensation of just, oh, that sucks. I don't want to be that guy. Why? Because I'm trying to be perfect? No, but because I don't like how I feel when I'm doing things that aren't okay, and when I'm aware that there's, that there's concern over, from God. It breaks his heart, and I've already been breaking his heart enough for my entire life trying to do all this by myself. Because I don't know if it's just that I don't know how to ask for help, or that I don't want it, or that I have pride there and I want to figure it out on my own, or whatever, or I just think I can handle it. But I can have like 9 billion people tell me, don't do that, and that's a bad idea. Nah, I'll give it a try anyway. I'm that dude. And it's not cool to learn everything the hard way. I've gotten to a point now where I can learn from the experiences of other people and apply those in my life without having to experience it first, and then apply the knowledge that I gleaned from that, and then turn that into wisdom, and skip all that now. So take some of it from me, please. I have had a little bit of a difficult life, and maybe there's not a lot that's ever really going to justify going through those things, but some that takes the edge off and makes it tolerable and reignites a passion and a purpose in life and a mission is to use those experiences to connect with somebody that's been through a similar thing and help them navigate through that process of healing from it, and then getting to a point and a place where they want to teach from that experience and fight the problems that led to it in the first place. So having said that, and just a recap on, be careful with people, because we're all not perfect, and some of us have hearts harder than others, and some of us just aren't in the light at all and just trying to survive, and the only way is to do this, that, or that according, in their mind. But when you have a hardened heart, it's really easy to do those things to survive that really aren't that necessary. I spent probably 6-7 years on the streets. I didn't steal anything. Nope, didn't sling dope. Didn't rob nobody. None of that. I made it. So, robbing from these big box stores because they got insurance and who cares? Well, it started with somebody like me who has a little kid to raise, and you're stealing from her. How? You raised the insurance premium, whatever the excuse. Stop doing that stuff, man. You don't want to feel bad, and you don't want people to, like, what goes around comes around kind of a thing. That's a real thing. You steal something from somebody, a week later someone's going to rob you for everything that you had, steal your cell phone, your ID, and you're screwed for 2 months. Why? Because you did something silly like steal a candy bar a month ago. that thing comes back. You know, that stuff comes back. So if you want to avoid those things coming into your life, and a lot of them will, regardless of your behavior, that's just how people are. You know, free will affects people. God's not going to screw with free will, because otherwise the love that we gave him would be essentially fake. It'd be synthetic. It wouldn't be genuine. So he gives us a free will to make a choice. I mean, like, if the creator, like if I was the creator and I made you love me, what's the point? God the Father has made it entirely out of pure love, the essence of it itself. And in the beginning, I think that he was lonely. All this love, nobody to give it to, nobody to receive it from. Just, I don't know, maybe I would have done the same thing, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, be careful. People are gnarly. They're good in the heart, but if it's too hard, they could probably mess you over and not really even feel guilty about it until years later, and by then it's too late and you don't care anyway and it's all under the bridge and whatever. Well, you suffered and that was real, and they didn't deserve to do that to you. And you didn't deserve to have to endure that. Rather, they had no right to do that to you, and you still didn't deserve it. But nonetheless, bad things happen, trials and tribulations come, but count them joy. Why? Because God is developing you through those into the person he wants you to be. The version of yourself that he wants you to be. And we're all going in that direction, and we're never going to get it perfect, but I don't know about you, but after what he did for us, I ain't trying to have him come back to a shit show, excuse my language, a mess. I want this place to be a little bit better before it gets worse, because the tribulation's coming. It's going to happen. Why not make it the best it can possibly be before we get to that point, before we're raptured, before he comes back? Give him something to come home to. This is garbage. I wouldn't want to come to this. You know, died in the worst condition it's ever been, then come back to the worst condition it's ever been. No thanks. You know what I mean? So let's step it up a little bit, yeah? Thanks for watching.